to, how about this woman right here?
Hello, my name's Bonnie Bishop. I'm from Nahant, Massachusetts. I taught in a public urban high school for 33 years, and I'm very interested in your take on No Child Left Behind and the links that you would draw between education and your trying to solve the problem of poverty here in America.
Can everybody hear the question? Do you need me to repeat them? Okay. Directly connected, to answer the last part of your question, poverty and our public education system are completely connected. I've talked in the past about, and still believe it to be true, that the two public school systems that we have in America, one for the more affluent areas and one for the less affluent areas. And I don't think anybody in America would disagree with the proposition that every child should have the same high quality education no matter who their family is or where they live. But we're not even close to meeting that standard. And on top of that, we're now down in double digits in the ranking of our public schools compared to the rest of the world. We're the richest, most powerful nation on the planet. How can that be? The one thing that I am sure of is that we don't solve our issues with public education just by testing ourselves to death. I don't believe that's going to work. But I don't want to overstate that because we do need accountability. My suspicion is you believe in accountability. I mean, we need our schools to perform. If they're not performing, we need to make the modifications and changes that need to be made. By the way, I've yet to meet a teacher who supports No Child Left Behind the way it is today. I talked about this some yesterday. I was the chair of a conference we had at my poverty center. This goes to your whole question. And I had a bunch of experts on public education there, including a guy who had run one of the biggest public school systems in North Carolina, actually the school system my own children went to, my older children went to, in Raleigh. My younger children now go to public school in Chapel Hill, which is not too far away. But I asked the question to the panel, if you were President of the United States, this was an abstract question. If you were President of the United States and you could do one thing to improve public schools, and I went through the list, you know, I said some people complain about the teachers' union, some people complain about No Child Left Behind, some people complain about the lack of early childhood programs, some people complain about classroom size. I went through the whole list of all these things. What would you do if you could only do one thing? And the consensus of the panel was pay teachers $80,000 a year. But they weren't. It was a fascinating thing to listen to. It wasn't a generosity to teachers. That wasn't why they did. Because what they said is if you can attract the highest quality people to the teaching profession and you can keep the highest quality people, then you end up with the best teacher in the front of every classroom, and they will police themselves because they will not tolerate incompetence. They will make sure that the teachers working around them are performing, and they'll make sure that the school performs the way it has to. And it was fascinating because one of these guys, he was a very hard-nosed public school administrator. He'd been brought into a number of school systems to solve serious problems. But he said at the end of the day, all these other things just melt away if you get the best possible people into the teaching profession. So I think there are other things. I'll say one last thing. I just mentioned this in passing just a minute ago, but I shouldn't just mention it in passing. I really think we need a serious change and strengthening of our early childhood system in America. You know, we ought to go younger. We ought to go younger. We ought to deal with the nutritional and health care needs of the kids. And then last, I think we need to do more to train those who teach in early childhood programs. I think those things could make a difference because we know for certain that that's the age when you can actually have the most impact on the life of a child. Thank you for your question. How about...
Okay, all right. I thought
righty.
of my
What's your
answer.
name and where are you from?
My name is Bonnie Bishop. I'm from Nahant, Massachusetts.
And you asked a question of the senator today.
I asked him about education because I taught high school in a public urban high school for 33 years.
Right.
And I know that under No Child Left Behind, a lot of teacher and administrative energy is being squandered on bureaucratic nonsense. He did say that he thought we were testing ourselves to death, but we need accountability.
Well, he did say
which I agree
accountability.
with. Which I agree with. He advocated better pay for teachers, which I absolutely agree with, although it's too late for me. And he also advocated beefing up early intervention with young children.
Yeah, early childhood. Get them in early.
Where all the research shows that if you can work with kids at an early age, it really makes a difference for their later years in progress.
Right.
So I was satisfied with my answer and very favorably impressed with the senator.
Thank you for speaking to me today, Bonnie.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.